welcome to another episode of Queen City Unleashed. I am Shay Olushina, and today I'm here with Leslie Leitner, the Community Engagement Associate for Supportive Housing Communities. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you. Leslie's actually someone that I know. She's not a stranger to me. I've got to attend a Supportive Housing Communities event last year, and we've got some more coming up this year that we'll get to talk about. But first, I want to get to know a little bit more about you. This is a fun question I've been asking. This was a debate with some friends on a trip we recently took. You have to give up one starch for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. Rice, pasta, potatoes, or bread. Which one would it be?
Rice.
That was so fast.
I could not live without bread, pasta, or potatoes. Like, if you asked me to give up bread, pasta, or potatoes, we'd be here for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Rice is so many cuisines, though.
Yeah,
Hispanic food, rice,
right.
Asian, Indian. I'm Nigerian, so that's a whole nother one, but no rice at all?
I could not give up just knowing who I am and the amount of Italian food that we eat. We are making pasta every other week.
So pasta here. I get.
Yeah.
Pasta I
and
understand.
Potatoes are so versatile. Like you're talking about potato, like there's mashed potatoes, there's roasted potatoes, there's French fries, there's potato chips.
Rice.
Look, and then there's bread, and you can't give up bread.
Bread was never the one for me.
Right.
Like it's not even. But like no sushi.
No, I would give that up.
Interesting.
You are bringing up a lot of good points that I didn't think of.
Because here's the thing: rice can be the main dish.
Right.
Potato is never a main dish.
Well, it is in my heart.
Explain.
I love a potato. I like.
A potato is the main dish to you.
How I portion it can be.
Okay. Fair. Wow. I'm always so surprised when people give up rice, sushi.
No, I will say you are bringing up a lot of good points that I didn't think of, especially with sushi, but I am going to stick by my answer.
Wow. Rice. Okay. Interesting. I think my wife she was giving up. It wasn't rice. It wasn't potatoes. I think she was giving up pasta. And I was like, I don't know how you give up pasta either.
No, I can't. I couldn't do that.
It's so interesting. I love this question because you get to hear how people like what their diet is like or what they enjoy in food.
I live off of like pasta and potatoes. Not the healthiest diet.
It works. It works. Okay. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What brought you here to Charlotte?
So I am from Columbia, South Carolina, so only like an hour and a half away. And then I went to school at Clemson, selfish plug, go Tigers. And when I graduated Clemson, I knew I wanted to move to a bigger city, but also I didn't want to be too far from my family, but I wanted to grow something of my own. Columbia is a small town where everybody knows everybody, and kind of wanted to start working on my own thing. Found my way into the nonprofit sector while I was in school, and just Charlotte felt right. So I can go home whenever I need or whenever I want, but my parents do have to at least text me when they're on the way to Charlotte. So it ended up just being like the perfect distance, and I've been here. It'll be 4 years in August.
Okay, cool. We're coming up on 5 next month, actually, like in a couple weeks, which is exciting. I do appreciate also, you said I went to school 3.5 hours away from home. I was the person who went the furthest away for school, and it was for that reason. I was like, I don't want you guys swinging by to just say like, hey, what's up? But also close enough that I could get home for a weekend.
Right. Well, actually, so Clemson's a cult. And so both of my parents went there. So it was like during the fall for football games, they were there like every weekend. But it was great because we always had a tailgate to go to. So it was good times.
Having the friends who have parents that tailgate, especially in your first couple of years before like you're doing it yourself, game changer.
It's chicken minis. Every noon game we would have chicken minis. And it was all of my friends knew. They'd text me. They're like, we're doing chicken minis tomorrow? And I was like, yes, we are. I'll see you there.
One of my friends, her dad started coming up for games a lot. I think it was like our junior year. And he would go to her boyfriend's fraternity, one of the guys at a house, and start grilling like early in the morning. And so we'd all just show up and just like eat. And I'm like, this is wonderful. And so now in the back of my head, I have a grill that you've heard of, Big Bertha, a dear love of mine. And so now I'm like, I'm going to have to get a mini Bertha when we have a kid in college so I can take it somewhere and grill and do the whole
Right.
tailgating.
My little brother's going to be living in his frat house next year, and I could totally see my parents driving up there, grilling
Doing a
in
whole
the morning.
spread
Yeah,
for the frat
doing the
house.
whole spread.
He'll be beloved.
My parents love to feed the college kids. They're like, they need food. They just like, they love to feed the college kids. It's like a personal fave of theirs.
My mom kind of did in a way. I don't think I've said this story on camera, but I got in trouble for it. My mom makes rice, and it is like Nigerian fried rice, and it's amazing, and I love it. My aunt makes a different kind of Nigerian rice, jollof rice. So my mom gave me some fried rice. I took it home. I was home, took it back to school. Well, in our dorm, we had this big listserv. I went out, bought like 2 bags of salad, and started selling the rice with the salad as a meal for like $10 because in college, $10 can get you far.
Yes, it can.
$20 can get you even further. So I'm
Right.
like, I just need a little cash. I didn't tell my mother about it.
No.
No one knew.
No.
Well, family weekend came. She set up in my lounge with an entire spread. Her and my aunt both cooked. There was plantain, chicken.
Right.
It was a whole spread. And I told my friends, I'm like, hey guys, come up and get some food. My parents are here. And one of my friends out loud in front of my mom goes, oh, this is so nice. And we don't have to pay for it this time. And I was like, oh no. And my mom goes, honey, what did you say? You had to pay? And she goes, what are you talking about? I was like, please stop talking. Please stop. She goes, yeah, he was selling plates for like $10. My mom goes, I don't remember getting $1 from this. She goes, I bought the ingredients, I cooked the food, and you took the rice to school and sold it? And I was like, wow, thanks guys for giving up my entire house.
Entrepreneurial spirit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My mom was like, if you guys ever want rice, you ask me directly. Don't pay him for rice. And I was like, great. My own mother like taints my could have been business. But continuing with food, in Charlotte, what is one of your favorite restaurants?
Beef and Bottle.
Really?
Yes.
Are you there a lot? Like what's the frequency that it is your favorite?
It is like mine and Mark's like favorite like date night spot is Beef and Bottle.
Okay.
The amount of food that you can get at Beef and Bottle for the cost, it's uncomparable. It's amazing. And also the atmosphere, obsessed. I love it.
The old timiness of it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like it's a fancy Coyote Joe's.
And this might, you know what, you might have just nailed something for me there.
Yeah.
Because I was like, the vibe is very unique, and you said fancy Coyote
It's
Joe's.
a fancy
and
Coyote
that's not a place
Joe's.
I go.
I love Kojo's.
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 This is the first, I've been here 5 years, I've not heard of Kojo's.
Look, you can take the girl out of Clemson and out of her College of Agriculture, Forestry, and Lifestyle roots, but it never comes out. It never comes out of her.
And there's a fun fact, you say the nature part, you also have a horse.
I do, yes.
Tell me about this horse of yours.
He's special. He's got a lot of voices in his head.
I didn't know what you meant by special, like he's a fantastic horse or he's like a troubled
yes.
horse, or...
He's got a lot of personality. That's,
Okay.
I like to say that I'm a personality hire with some skills sprinkled in. And so all of the pets that my family has gotten, like the main thing, we're like, well, at least they all have a lot of personality.
How does a horse have a lot of personality?
If you know horses, you know, but he's got a lot of opinions. And yeah, like the voices can sometimes be really loud, and he's got a lot of things, a lot of thoughts going on in his little brain.
The horse?
Yes, the horse. Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of thoughts.
How do you rein in the thoughts then? Now I'm confused. The horse has thoughts.
So many thoughts. Typically, I just like focus on giving him a job to do, so then he can channel his thoughts and his overthinkingness into like something constructive. But yeah, that's how.
How long have you had him?
I have had him since summer before my senior year of high school. So it'll be 10 years next summer, 9 years this summer.
Wow. Did you get him young or?
He was 6 when I got him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you
So
ride a lot, I'm assuming then?
I not as much as I would like to. Right now he still lives back home in Colombia. My mom rides, so she rides
Okay.
him. But luckily, I have a friend whose parents live out in Stanley, North Carolina. And his mom, I get to go and ride with her and ride her horses and do like
Okay.
trail rides with her. And now they've become like a second family for
Oh,
us out
nice.
there. So I get to go and ride out there. I would say probably like once every couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think they're majestic animals. Like when
they
I
are.
see them, like I just how big and strong they are. Like they're one of my favorite animals to just look at. Just from how they move and gallop. Spirit was one of my favorite childhood movies.
Yes.
Could watch that one all the time.
Yes.
My poor father knew the whole movie just from hearing it because he wouldn't be there. We'd watch it in the car, and he's like, "I feel." He told us. I think we were in college. He goes, I've actually never seen this movie. He goes, I've just listened to it from you guys watching it in the car for years, but I actually don't know what happens in this movie." And
That's
I'm
so
like,
funny.
huh. That and the Black Stallion movies or books as a kid.
Yes. Yes. No, that's very classic. Growing up as a horse girl, those were ingrained in me. I had Breyer horses growing up. And so for a long time, I would just pick two of my horses, and they would be Spirit and Rain, and I would play the movie with my toy horses. And then eventually, my parents got me the Spirit and Rain actual set. So that was like really cool.
Huh.
But I'm not crazy. I'm not like I only have like two horses put up in my apartment right now. So
Okay. And Panini.
and Panini.
Panini's her cat.
Panini is my cat.
The cat named Panini. Like I feel like that's a good cat name. If
Thank
someone
you.
named their dog Panini, I'd be a little confused, but a cat named Panini, I feel like works.
Well, my friend just got a dog, and her name is Ravioli. So that's
Don't
Panini's Italian food cousin.
don't love that. Ravioli again for a cat. Like to me, dogs have certain like it's a dog name.
We call her Little Rabby. Little
the
Rabby.
dog.
Yeah, little spinach and cheese. Little ricotta and sausage.
This is how the dog's gonna end up with different personalities and voices in its
Yeah,
head.
no, she will. Yeah.
You guys are
Yeah.
gonna create this.
Yeah, no, Panini's got a lot. Panini has a lot of thoughts in her head too. So she has her little Margaritaville playset that she goes in. It's her safety Margaritaville. She just goes in there, hangs out. She really likes trash. She was a trash cat found on the side of the road. So
It's a homey place for her.
yeah, so like I have a lot of toys for her because I like to buy her things. But she doesn't like that. She prefers like a ball of tinfoil as
I
opposed
thought
to
cats are afraid of like foil.
like she doesn't want to jump on it, but if you like ball it up, she will just bat it around and chase it around the apartment for hours.
And what is your horse's name?
Merlin.
Merlin and Panini.
Merlin and
Leslie's
Panini.
pets. Okay.
Yes.
So we are actually here not to talk about as much as I could talk about this
Yeah.
and animals and food. We're here to talk about supportive housing
Yes.
communities. Can you tell me, and for people who don't know, what supportive housing communities is as an organization and what your mission and like what you guys are hoping to do in the community of Charlotte?
Yeah, so we are a nonprofit that's been in Charlotte for a little over 30 years now, aiming to end homelessness and human suffering in the Charlotte area by way of permanent, supportive, and affordable housing. So we were founded by two Tryon Street churches, St. Peter's Catholic and St. Peter's Episcopal, when they noticed a problem in their city that they loved and served. So they started opening their doors for people to come and stay in their churches, open their soup kitchens, and then realized that the problem was far bigger than that. And so they started purchasing homes and repairing them and then renting them out at affordable rates. And then that sort of just kept growing until we got McCreesh Place. We broke ground there in 2003. So that's our sober living facility in the NODA area. If you've ever been in down North Davidson and know where the Hobbyist and Degenerate is, we're right next door to there, so super cool. And that's when we changed our names to Supportive Housing Communities. And so, like I said, we want to do it by way of permanent, supportive, and affordable housing so people can stay with us for as long as they need or for as long as they want. We have had residents stay with us for just a year and then have that successful exit out of our programs. And then we also have residents who have been with us for 20 years. And then that supportive piece is really important to what we do. So being the community engagement associate, I get to tell our case managers stories, and they are the ones who are walking day to day with our residents and our neighbors, helping them tackle all of their problems, whether that be how to pay rent, how to get Social Security, how to get disability benefits, helping them apply for jobs, helping them find, like, get in contact with other nonprofits for like food referrals and whatnot, helping them apply for school. Really anything and everything that you can think of, our case managers are doing on a daily basis. They also, as a North Carolina transplant, one of our case managers helped 2 of our residents get their North Carolina IDs.
Awesome.
Yeah, which is like a really big deal because we also work with the critically unhoused population, so those who have been unhoused for typically at least a year. But yeah, so there are the backbone of what
Yeah.
supportive housing communities is, and we wouldn't be who we are without the amazing case managers and program staff that we have. And then that affordable piece, so of the affordability rate for housing, it's supposed to be 30% of your monthly income.
I wish.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So we just require 30% of their income, whatever that may be. So it's a real sliding scale. And typically our clients are at or below 30% AMI. So they are making 30% or less of what the area median income is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys are you guys are doing amazing work. I would say coming out to volunteer last year was the first time that I got introduced to supportive housing and just thought it was getting to be there. Some of the residents came out to talk to us. Like, I think we were cleaning up stuff, and one of them came out and we were fixing the garden, and he was very adamant about wanting to grow certain things in the garden. And I thought it was cool to just see the pride he has for a garden there. And it's like, this really is their home. When I tell people about it, it's like, no, it's not like a temporary, like, it's not like a shelter, which are great and needed in our city. But like, this is, like you said, people live there for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I just think that's so interesting how they, like, even inside McCreesh, they like build their own community
Yeah.
to support one another.
McCreesh Place is a very special place in the city of Charlotte. It, like I said, we broke ground on it in 2003. We house about 90 of our residents there, 90 of the people who we serve, and 64 of those units are more dorm style. So each person has their own room that has like a mini fridge and also a sink in it, and then it's about 4 to 5 rooms to a bathroom and a shower, and then about 8 to a kitchen. And we also have community spaces as well, including like a library, a small area where we have some gym equipment, and also our large community room. And then the other 26 of our units are annex units, and those are more studio efficiency apartments.
Okay.
And with the addition of those in 2013, we were also able to be co-ed as well. So that's really cool. But McCreesh is a special community. It is a sober living facility. And so we try to amplify that community feel and aspect so that people have people to lean on, which is something that is really important when you're going through something like recovery and being committed to that sober lifestyle.
Yeah.
But it's a special place, and I can really see how our residents really care about each other there, and they take a lot of pride in living at McCreesh and doing the events there. We had a karaoke party, and watching everybody
Wow.
watching everybody support each other while singing, it was a really cool thing.
Ooh, karaoke.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that'd be fun and just something that everybody can enjoy together.
It was a lot of fun. Me and one of our property managers, Mrs. G, sang No Scrubs together, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so you have McCreesh. There's also another, if I'm remembering correctly, there's another building that you guys have, and then there's some partnerships that you have.
Yeah.
About how many people do you serve, individuals and families, through supportive SHC across the board?
So in total, we serve close to 300 households, and that translates to a little over 500 individuals a year. Family-wise, we have many families that we serve throughout our programs. We serve the majority of our families through our Keeping Families Together program. So in that, we work with DSS, and if they have a case that's open just due to lack of housing, they refer them to us. We're able to help get them housed, get that case closed, and keep that family together. And that case is closed as long as they are living with us and working with our case management. And we work with about 50 landlords right now to house our
Wow,
residents in their homes and apartments throughout the city.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. We have a lot of really good partnerships, and the way that we're able to maintain all of those is through our properties team. They're super awesome at making sure that our landlords are happy, and keeping the upkeep of our properties that we have as well. So our properties director and property managers, and then also our maintenance staff are a huge asset to this organization.
Man, that is awesome. And I think, again, really important work that needs to happen in our city. I'm happy and honored I get to be a part of the Young Professionals Board, which I joined after coming to Brewers Ball and having a good time there. So, part of our biggest task as a Young Professional Board is Brewers Ball. Can you explain a little bit about what Brewers Ball is? Almost a plug for it
Yes.
and like all the things that happen and how that's supporting the neighbors of supportive housing.
Yes. So our tagline for Brewers Ball is networking with neighbors, and also drink beer and do good. So Brewers Ball is kind of our celebration event. It's in the summer, and we are working with 13, 14 different breweries in the Charlotte area to do tastings, as well as having some food trucks as well to do tastings and have meals, have a band, have some other fun things going on during the evening. There's a silent auction that's happening. There's also going to be like a fund to need table as well to help really ground you in what we're there for. And we're there to raise funds for our neighbors.
Yeah.
And everything that is raised at Brewers Ball does go back to assisting our neighbors and keeping them in that permanent supportive housing.
Yeah.
But it's a super fun event. Everybody who came last year said it's a good time.
As one of those
Yeah,
attendees.
so we even pulled one in to
Yeah.
come and be our young professionals. So.
Had a few conversations. They're like, "Hey, are you interested?" I'm like, "Was this planned?" A lot of people are asking, but
Yeah.
no, I had a good time. I went with a colleague from work and her partner, and it was cool. Just like at middle of the week, having a few beers, getting to learn more about the organization and the neighbors and their stories, and then the auction was great. Like
Yeah.
able to pick up a few things there, so it's definitely a good time. I remember telling a lot of people afterwards, I'm like, yeah, this was definitely something I would do again, and so now I get to be a part of helping to
Yeah.
helping to plan it. There's something you said multiple times now that I think it's important in the work you guys are doing to give dignity to all these individuals. And I like that you guys call them neighbors. Can you explain a little bit of SHC's mindset in using that term?
Yeah. So, I mean, we're all each other's neighbors. These are our neighbors in the city. No matter where you live, we're all a part of Charlotte. And everyone here is our neighbors. And that's, everyone deserves that dignity. Everybody deserves a place to live. And so they deserve that dignity of being
Yeah.
our neighbors. And, be a good neighbor. That's his tagline on his shirt. If you
Oh yeah,
can't
this
tell.
shirt I did get last year
Yes.
ever as well.
And then also on our little shed that's next to McCreesh, it's a blue one. It's really pretty. It says "Love your neighbor," and so we're just trying to love all of our neighbors in the city.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
awesome to call them neighbors because it's a good reminder that these are just
Yeah.
they're people just like us. I know there's some other events coming up throughout the rest of the year. One that I'm super excited about. Queen City Unleashed is going to be working with Shameless Improv. Brian Lee is going to be one of our guests on the podcast, and he is part of Shameless Improv as a group. And we're going to be doing an event with them at Town Brewing, who you guys have heard from before. And we're bringing an improv show, and it's going to be on Tuesday, June 10th, a couple days before Brewers Ball. So it'll be a great way to get out and get to hear about supportive housing, what they're about, and laugh. So Tuesday night, you're not doing too much. Come out for a laugh. Tickets are going to be $15, and all the proceeds are going to go to supportive housing. And it's just a really cool way for us to do good for our neighbors in the community. So this podcast is about sharing the voices of Charlotte, and some of those voices are our neighbors that need our support. And
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that we're going to be able to do something to raise money for them.
Sweet. Well, yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to find out more about our neighbors, you can always go to a place aplacetoliveagain.org. And there's links to our Meet Your Neighbor as well, which is where we assisted 8 of our neighbors in telling their stories.
And these are really impactful stories. I've seen a couple of them, and it's really cool to hear how SHC is able to come into their lives and help them, and the difference that it makes for them. I think there's one where, if I'm remembering correctly, like his smile was completely different. Like,
yes.
later.
Are you thinking of Purnell?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. He is one of our health and housing residents. So actually working with Atrium on that one.
Okay.
So yeah, he has been with us, I believe, for a little over a year now, and had suffered 2 strokes. And then we were able to get him out of the hospital and shelter and into a home where he could fully recover. And then, so if you watch his story and then look at his picture, he was able to get like his new set of teeth in between that. So he looks like 10 years younger. He's doing great. But he's an awesome individual.
Awesome. Yeah. It's those are the kind of stories that I think moves me a lot and drew my interest in other events after Brewers Ball. So Brewers Ball is going to happen. What are some of the other events throughout the year that other people could participate in if they're interested?
So we always have volunteering events that are open and available. Again, if you want to go to aplacetoliveagain.org and then our Get Involved page, that's where you're going to find all of my contact information to get that scheduled. We could do anything and everything from beautification, landscaping, cleaning, serving a meal, karaoke parties, bingo
you
parties.
You can volunteer to be part of the karaoke party?
Yeah. It was the Covenant Presbyterian Young Adults put that on.
No way. Cool.
Yeah. So, bingo parties, we get real competitive with bingo at McCreesh. I have to remind people that this is Rec League bingo. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to get involved with volunteering. And then our other fundraisers that we have going on throughout the year. In November, we'll have our Neighbor of the Year event, which is our breakfast that will, it's our community breakfast where we just want to tell people about who we are, what we do, highlight some of our partners throughout the year, highlight some of our neighbors' stories. And that's how we really close out the year with that. And then in the beginning of the year, we'll have our Warm Souls Night Walk again, which is where we're building empathy in every step, trying to help ground our participants in our most vulnerable neighbors' reality. So it is a night walk in February. People kept asking us, they're like, isn't it going to be cold? And it's like, yes, that is the point. This is what people have to go through on a regular basis. And it was about a mile-long loop, and we had 8 different experience pieces to help ground people in that reality. And so that'll be coming up again in February, and then this airs right after Chefs of Charlotte, but Chefs of Charlotte we host in May. That is our more like sponsors table sales event where we get to do Chefs of Charlotte, and we get to highlight some of the awesome chefs in the city of Charlotte, and they put together different 5-course meals, and that's really cool. And then we end our fiscal year again with Brewers Ball. So those are all of the things we have coming up.
I'm looking forward to Brewers Ball. If you have time or are interested in supportive housing communities and what they're about, please make sure you check out their website, which we'll make sure we'll drop in here. But for events coming up, come out for our improv show. A great way, drink some beer and laugh. And then if you're interested, again, come out 2 days later, drink some beer and raise, what was it? Do good, drink beer?
Do good, drink beer, and network with your neighbors.
Well, I mean, a couple opportunities to do some fun things in Charlotte, but this is an organization that I truly do believe in. Otherwise, I would not be a part of them. And so I'm glad that you guys have me on the Young Professional Board. It is an honor, and I think to be able to do good work for our neighbors that really need it. And so thank you, Leslie, for what you do, and thank you to supportive housing communities for what they're doing in our community. And thank you for being on the podcast.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
it was so fun.
All right. Well, we hope to see you guys at both of those events. And if you have any questions, please check out either of our websites for tickets for the upcoming events or ways to volunteer, which I would highly recommend with your friends or team at work, but a great way to give back and get to meet some of our neighbors.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Thank you.